Tootsies.
I got called yesterday, so I'm approved for having severe sleep apnea.
Whoa.
I wake up 30 to 50 times an hour.
An hour?
An hour, so I don't get any sleep technically. So, yeah, it's real bad.
Yeah, so like how do they measure that? What's the protocol?
Like when you're sleeping, if I'm doing this, I like stop breathing about 30 to 50 times an hour. So it's like my heart can stop, and it's crazy. It's real bad. It's fucking sweet. So anyways, they're hooking me up with a machine.
Yeah, tight.
So I'm like,
So, okay, how do they judge? Like, how do they know that? Do you go in and take a nap?
no, it's an at-home test. You like strap this.
Okay.
You strap a computer basically onto your chest and an air tube into your nose. So the machine's doing your heartbeat and your heart rate, and then the nose is basically just like all of your breath goes into these computers, and it's like just a bunch of signals. So basically, it's just like a graph that shows like how much clean air you're like putting into it. You know, and like when you stop breathing. So it's pretty.
Does it have like
intense.
Is it like a, at the?
It's nothing to joke about, but I'm just stoked about it. It's been like 10 years of Laura being like, babe,
right?
You die every night.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
You need to, like poor Bear. He's the only one on tour that'll sleep in a hotel room with me because he also snores, and I flushed everybody else out of the hotel rooms.
I feel like I've slept with you once or twice, and I was like, Bear,
Yeah, exactly. I'm up honking all night, so it's like I'm just excited to finally kind of like get it done, and then hopefully insurance will float me the machine. That's like the next step.
Bro, I can't wait until I see Stevie on a good night's rest.
I know. Imagine what I'll be able to do.
Can you imagine?
I haven't slept apparently in 20 years. I
haven't slept for 27 years, dude. Oh my god, man, that's crazy. So you're getting something. You're getting like a machine.
I'm getting a machine. Yeah, man.
Yourself up. Sweet, man.
He looks like Darth Vader when he wears it too. Have you ever seen a CPAP machine?
No, they're clean.
Yeah, my
now.
dad has one.
They're crispy now, dude. I'm gonna get the Matt Flex Streamline, dude. It's
nice.
Like the slick little tube, and you can lay on your face, and it inflates bigger on this side and opposite on this side, and it's on your head, so you can sleep and swizzle.
Wow,
Swizzle's the technical term.
It's a Dr. Seuss book. Swizzle the timbers.
How good's this, baby? How good is that? Jeez Louise, man. I'm pumped for you, man. That's
how
great.
Good's
Hopefully,
this?
How good? Tell me.
No hangovers.
No way.
No hangovers.
Come on.
That's what sold me. I finally got the test because someone told me you never have a hangover again.
When's the last time you had a hangover? I mean, if you're literally haven't slept in 15 years, I don't even think a hangover would touch the sides on you, dog.
I don't know. Like that's the next experiment.
You're just like operating like 5%.
Barely functioning human being. Barely functioning human being.
I can't wait to see you on a good night's rest, dude. A weekend, Stevie Baby's just gonna be doing high kicks.
Be Chipper Daniels, dude, just doing gallops through the fields.
She's gonna be opening doorknobs with his eyebrows.
Become a thespian. Start riding majestic steeds.
Making biscuits and gravy for the homeless shelters all across the country.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dude. Yeah, you're gonna be doing great, man.
Sweet. So how long does it take for you to get the machine?
I have no idea. A company has to call me.
Okay.
Yeah. Some company is gonna get a hold of me and then like set me up with an automatic machine or something that like helps regulate my breathing basically when I sleep.
Dude, sick.
Dude,
so that's gonna make you. Sorry.
It's gonna make you live to be 100 years old, my friend.
I hope not.
Wait, so like, could I get one?
No, I was gonna just buy the machine, but you need a prescription.
You need a prescription for the machine.
Yeah, it's like a medical machine. I mean, I think you can buy them like cheap on Amazon, but the thing is, the worrisome part is that what the test does is if it was really, really, really bad, they like give you a number that you need to set it to between like 5 and 20 to like make sure the airflow is proper. For me, I'm lucky enough to be kind of like on an automatic machine to where my breathing, the machine will regulate itself and give me more or less air.
But so like, that's weird that I just couldn't go get one though. Like if I'm like, hey, I need a little bit more oxygen in my bloodstream while I'm sleeping.
I mean, it makes sense, right? I think
it's got to be diagnosable, right?
Yeah, it's got to be diagnosable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that
I
makes
see
sense.
Alan's point though, that also like if everyone could be like, hold on, I'm getting clean air all night and I sleep better and I don't have a hangover and I wake up feeling like actually decent,
Right.
everyone would want one, right? Like a liquid IV kind of thing, Vegas treatment.
Yeah.
Why, what's preventing like them sending the mechanical strap home with you and me wearing it and then sending it back? Like, couldn't I technically get a prescription if I was like, hey, Mr. Sleep Guy, send me one of those things, and then I just strap it on your ass and they're like, bro, you're at a 20.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you want to do this, I'm down for that side hustle, baby.
Let's do it, dude. Let's get some CPAPs, bro. We'll sell them on the black market, dude.
CPAPs, baby. CPAPs.
Mr. Lee, you've been tested 23 times for sleep apnea. We've confirmed it. Sorry, I'm paranoid, man. I one more time.
I need a couple backup machines.
I'm going through these things, man. I keep falling off the bed and landing on them.
My dog chewed the cord. Oh, dude.
Dude, speaking of health and wellness, man, this chick that I just found on the internet today did something spectacular. She won the Guinness Book of World. She's the Guinness World Record holder for the oldest powerlifting competitor in the female category. Guess how old she is?
73.
Hold on, back up. Sorry to repeat it. She just got the Guinness Book of World Records for powerlifting.
Yeah. And for oldest power lifter in the female category.
Oldest,
yeah.
So
the weight is impressive too.
Okay, so the oldest.
No, she's just the oldest. Yeah.
The oldest. That's weird. I don't understand that record.
Well, it's like the record was broke by another woman who was her predecessor. Is that the right word for that?
Yes.
So she broke the record of some woman who was a certain age and had the record for a certain amount of weight lifted.
Yeah, Shirley beat that before.
Gotcha. I hope, dude. Is she like 80?
Dude, she's 100.
Oh my goodness.
Edith Murway. And dude, she hit 150 pounds.
Oh, we're gonna put a picture of Edith up right now. She did 150 pounds?
Dude, she's training for next year to break her own record.
Dude, can we get Edith shirts?
Seriously, let's get her on the podcast.
Oh my God. She probably doesn't even weigh 150 pounds.
No, not even close, dude. She's like 110.
Oh my goodness. And how old is she? She's 100 and what?
100. 100. It's 100.
That's amazing.
What a beast.
She's ripping it, dude. I was watching these videos of her and she's just like, powerlifting is hard, man. Like, you know, it's not an easy thing. It's like when you just like go down to the bottom and you have like a big barbell.
Yeah.
And you put weights on the end and then you like, it's not like a snatch, like where you like put it up and over your head.
Okay.
But it's like you just get down and you have to do the right form. So like, you know, it's a big lift with your back and you come up straight right up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But 150 pounds, dude. Edith Murway.
What was the previous what was the previous record?
I think it was like 90. Sorry, that not the woman was like 95 years old. And I think the weight was like 125 or something like that. She slammed it.
Weak.
Ain't nothing on Edith.
Dude, Edith's been,
isn't that crazy?
Edith's been huffing that pure CPAP air for like
that's what I'm talking
40
about,
years, dude. She's
I couldn't imagine doing
like
it's already such a accomplishment just to get to 100 and then to be like breaking world records is crazy. And like her video, she's just talking. She seems like she's probably in her like late 70s or something when you see her. Doesn't seem at all like she's really that old.
Well,
pretty cool, man.
You know, birth certificates back then were a little iffy.
Yeah,
you know, like if Cuban Little League players can come over to the States and be like, "Hey, I'm 13," they're like 29. Then
full beard.
Potentially birth certificates back when Edith was born might have been a little bit. It's not like a database or anything. It's like we just kind of wrote it on a fucking toilet.
Basically, just like during the Depression, just all the library books of the failing library blowing in the wind. You just grabbed one and signed a piece of paper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wow, that's
crazy,
that's
man.
amazing. Where's she from? Where does she live? Old Edith.
I believe she's from California.
Dude,
that's the sunshine.
Yeah.
That's what did it.
Yeah, she's just
ripping
out.
it, dude.
She's having those
just ripping
Mai
it.
Tais.
So
I used to
Huntington
love the
Beach.
Guinness Book of World Records, man. I used to get those things all the time and just keep myself updated with it. Remember that? Did you guys ever see the show when there was a show for it? People with like, those long fingernails that just like wrapped around their whole bodies and were like 9 feet long.
Those were the creepiest ones. I would get the Guinness Book of World Records. I was always skip to the tallest person section.
Yeah, that
Like
was a cool one.
The records that are records, but they don't really require any human
to do anything.
Mm-hmm. Like the tallest guy, the longest fingernails. That was always the one I was just like, dude, that freaks me out, bro. Mm-hmm. No, clip them, son. Ick.
You can't, but dude? Once they're 9 inches, there's no going back.
Yeah,
just walk around with like they just have like a big like potato sack around their arm.
Yeah,
it's like dragging nails, just like sparks flying up.
They definitely have a tushy in their bathroom. I can tell you that.
Oh, for sure. They ain't wiping that, bro. And then a lot of the times they were the longest fingernail people. They always looked like they were from countries where it was like, bro, you need a hand. Like I feel like there's,
what country do people not need a hand?
Well, I think, if you're raised in the States and you come from money, and you got some of that Bitcoin just flowing around, you're tossing Bitcoin parties at your uncle's house, and you can go a year, 2 years without a hand. And to just be like, I'm going to grow out my fingernails, see if I can catch
a hand, not both hands.
Not both hands, because it was never both hands. It was always one hand.
A hand
was just like, yo, and curly cues. It looked like an Arby's meal.
His other one was just like perfectly manicured.
His other one, yeah, like you.
Well, someone loves him because someone's doing the trimming, so that's really the moral of the story here.
Do you think you have to trim the edges for it to keep growing longer, like hair?
I don't know.
Oh, you're the expert.
I don't know what the protocol is on.
I'm not the expert. Those were the ones that I resonated or the gravitated
towards. How fast do your nails grow, though?
I don't know, man. My nails.
Yeah,
you're right. God, dude, they're so bad.
Dude, yeah, I think the real record should be on somebody who overcomes the addiction of chewing their fingernails to grow them out that long.
Whoa, that could be you, Julian.
That could be
I am an extremist, man. I would probably go that way.
Which record would you break, you think, Jules, if you which record do you think there's an actual chance for you to break?
I don't know, man, because I was thinking about world records, and then the one that we actually participated in, Alan, when you were part of the counselor group when we did the biggest water balloon fight, and I think it would have to be like a participatory thing because I don't know what I'm like. I don't know what I could do better or more so than anybody else. Like I don't really gauge. I was like, oh, I could like hold my breath. I was like, fuck that, dude. That's people hold their breath for like 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm curious what the longest breath hold is.
Yeah, it's probably 7 minutes long. But we participated in that water balloon fight that actually didn't break the world record that one time, but was super cool out in Seattle, like right at the Seattle Center. My friend.
Oh my God.
How long is it?
11 minutes and 35 seconds, bro.
Were they drowning and they just happened to like survive?
Yeah, seriously. They just lived through drowning. Stephanie Milfsud, 2009.
Milfsud?
Natalia Molchanova. She's got 8 minutes, 23 seconds, dude. She's the world record holder.
Wait, so the other woman beat it by like 4 minutes? I can't hold my breath for half of her.
No. Sorry. The man record is Stephanie Milfsud. He's from Norway or something. I don't know. 11 minutes, 35 seconds. The female record is 8 minutes, 23 seconds. That's so interesting. Like, do you think that they should have to... so in fighting, you have to do like weight classes, right? Like a 185-pound guy is not going to fight a 110-pound guy, right? Just as the sheer strength is going to be impossible for that 110 guy to beat the 185 guy. Seems like you should have weight classes and height classes for the holding breath record too, right? Because your lungs are going to be bigger if you're 6'9" than if you're a woman who's like 5'7". They should. What's going on here? You want to talk about some tragedy, some social tragedies happening here. There is some
oppression happening.
There's some oppression happening in the holding breath championships.
You don't know that. I mean, that 6'9" guy is putting a lot more pressure on his lungs than a person who's 5'7".
Yeah, couldn't the same thing be said for like the guy that like wins the hot dog eating competition who's like 63 pounds?
Right,
eats like
exactly.
49 pounds of hot dogs.
I mean, like, I'm a big guy. I probably have pretty huge lungs, but I apparently don't breathe for like 11 minutes and 23 seconds every hour while I'm sleeping.
Right, yeah, but I guess, but you get my theory, right?
I do, in theory.
So battle it. So why in theory wouldn't it work? I think that you could probably hold your breath longer than you think. You just don't work at it.
Yeah, but I don't think I could after years of abusing my lungs.
Okay, value.
It would be like
valuable
how you condition your lungs, like these people that deep sea dive and actually want to hold their breath that long. It's like a thing that they work out. Like Julian's quads. They didn't just wake up one day and have those quads.
Right, exactly. But let's
he did.
Circling back to like the weight class thing, if you obviously like you're not going to beat the world record. But if you train just as hard as me, I'm pretty tall still. Jules, how tall are you? You're 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, let's say Laura, right? Laura, she's got itty bitty little lungs, right? You got big, huge lungs. Say there's a universe that exists where you didn't abuse your lungs like you have in Chuck and Smoke. I would venture to guess that just because of, and you both train the same amount, like you'd just be able to fill your lungs fuller with air.
I hope I'd be able to do that.
Because they're bigger.
Yeah, in theory, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
it makes less sense than the weight class thing as far as like trained professional boxers go.
It does make less sense. Thus, there's no classes for like, there's no weight and height classes for holding breath championships, but it is fun to think about.
It'd be fun to think. Maybe host one.
Dude. Isn't it interesting that you could like actually probably hold your breath like twice, if not 3 times longer than you believe you can if you just mind over matter holding your breath, like because your body will physically like not inhale or exhale if you make it, like if you're drowning, your body's gonna just like regulate itself while you're underwater. But if you're just holding your breath and you have control of that, you're gonna breathe. So like when we're doing the Wim Hof stuff, Alan and stuff, when we're trying to hold our breath, you get like 2.5 minutes maybe at most. But if we really needed to, we could probably go 4.5 minutes if we didn't have access to just breathing again.
Right.
Like if we were forced.
But I guess that's also an interesting point of like Guinness World Records holding your breath competition. There has to be some sort of barrier, right? Like some sort of ruling. It's like you can't pass out. Like holding your breath versus passing out. Like I'm sure I would be able to survive if I was underwater for a specific amount of time, but I'm not holding my breath if I pass out. Like my body's on autopilot. My brain is going, you don't have any oxygen coming in, so I'm going to shut down certain parts of your body, and you're just going to lay limp and pray to God that the octopus teacher cruises through, sees you, and is like, "Hey, mofuck, I saw you eating calamari recently. I ain't saving your ass."
Yeah. We did a when I was a kid, like 13 or 14. Me and my childhood best friend Kevin lived in the same cul-de-sac, and there was these little kids that lived next door to us, and they had one of the kids had a Survivor themed birthday party one year.
Dope.
And he was probably like 4 or 5, and Kevin and I, I don't know why their mother allowed us to, but we were their babysitters. And so we were invited to this Survivor themed birthday party, and we were the 2 like older kids that were at this party hanging out with these young kids and having a good time. There were these games that they played, and one of them was because it's all Survivor based, so it's just like who can survive the hardest and the best. And they had one of the games being to stand on 1 foot for the longest. Who could stand on their one foot as long as they could. And so like, within like a minute and a half, 2.5 minutes, like most of the kids had kind of like left and were just like, I can't do it anymore. My foot's down. I'm 5 years old. I can't hold myself up that long.
Yeah.
I'm holding mine for like probably 12 minutes. I'm going hard here. Kevin holds it for like 9 hours through the evening, through the night, like into the morning.
I always
his body's like convulsing. Yeah, he's just up there, just like I gotta keep going.
No. The best part is there was no prizes, no extra cake.
Nothing. No,
literally all you got was a sore ankle.
Yeah,
I always love like people like that who just
committed.
Like socially you'd pass right by them.
Mm-hmm.
You'd never get much from them socially, and then just the right thing coalesces, and they get to show you that they can stand on their left foot for 9 hours straight. You're like, bro, Kevin, where you been?
Yeah.
Dude? What else you got?
He missed the whole party.
Yeah.
He like didn't even show up after that game. He was just out there. It was on the driveway, just like he's just standing in the driveway all day and all night. It was so
Did he get
good.
was like somebody giving him drinks of water, or was he like hopping over to the fruit punch?
No, he was like stopped moving after like an hour. He was like, okay, this is like I gotta stay put. Like he was really challenging himself and like figuring out like the strategy involved in doing it for longer, because that's just who he is. But like the birthday boy was just like, Kevin sucks, dude. He's not even here. He's like hanging. Yeah,
that's super funny.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, way to go, Edith. What's Edith's last name? Centurion.
Edith Murway. Edith Murway. Guinness World Record holder. Yeah, what a badass, right?
I wonder if we could get her on the potty pod, dude. Teach us a little bit about
hit her up.
Bulking up. You think she does muscle milk?
Definitely some like creatine.
Bro, that would be
that
would be a really fun development in the future, is like old people professional sports where you could just use all of the PEDs. You could use steroids,
PEDs,
performance enhancing drugs. Like you can't use testosterone and be in the Olympics. But like if you live past 90 and you just like, we'll pump you full.
You're just gonna have a heart attack immediately, dude.
Not necessarily.
Not if you're ripped like Edith.
You don't think Edith's putting a little comment in there? You don't think she's got a little?
I don't know if he's juicing or not.
That would be fucking amazing if she was putting it in her, like putting injections in her butt, dude. Just like going hard in the gym with steroids. That would be insane.
You don't think Guinness tests? I doubt it too.
Yeah.
Would Guinness test, you reckon?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't think your body can.
100-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Give me a break,
dude. They just feel bad. They're just like, nah, sorry. We're not going to do it.
Come on. It doesn't matter, bro. You live to 100. You can do whatever you want.
That's true.
You should get a new license. You should, when you turn 90, you should forfeit your old license and you should get a new license that says
you can do
whatever
anything.
the fuck I want.
Except drive.
Except drive. Exactly. Except
whatever, dude.
You lift weights over your head.
Yeah.
You can move into anybody's house without their permission.
100%.
Because you can't, because you typically can't. So if you can, it's like good on you.
Dude, if you lived to 90, give me a break.
Oh, yeah, I'm chucking shoes at every person I see.
Oh, dude, I'm saying all the bad things.
Oh, God.
Damn, dude. I'm saying all
No. I mean, like, I'll take fries with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Right.
Give me a break.
Right.
Give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. My dad will probably get there.
Definitely.
Bro, your dad's definitely getting there.
For sure.
If he stays on friggin' motorcycles, idiot.
I know. Idiot.
Motorcycles are stupid. I'm saying it right now to everybody who's listening, all the 9 people that are listening to this podcast. Motorcycles are fucking stupid. Thank you.
Yep.
They're stupid.
Yeah.
And the people who are on them are stupid.
They accept that they know it's a matter of when, not if, I think.
Okay. Then they're not stupid anymore.
But as long as they do that, they're stupid if they don't know it's a matter of when, not if.
Yeah,
if you think for any reason that you're not going to have a colossal wreck and an incredibly painful recovery whilst from riding motorcycles, you're stupid. It's going to happen. You're going to get murked by some pilled up idiot in a Toyota Sienna, and you're going to die.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Oh, jeez, dude. Yeah, it's definitely scary. To put it in context, my dad got in a wreck maybe a couple months ago, and it like he broke his ankle, he broke his hand in like 5 or 6 different places.
Ouch.
He like got thrashed up on his whole left side, got all bandaged up, and he's 71 years old. So,
dude,
that's
oh my God,
pretty gnarly. It's a pretty gnarly spill.
Yeah,
and he like dumped his bike the opposite way because he was going to fall over the embankment, going over the pass.
Did you guys take his?
Geez.
Did you take his motorcycle rights away? As his
I think he just took him away from himself. But he was like, "Muchachos, I am going to get my pilot's license now, and I'm going to fly across the country with you, muchachos."
I'm okay with that. There's far less people who. First of all, there's way more training. Dude, any knob can get his motorcycle license.
Yeah, they'd give one to me,
Literally,
which
they
is
would
crazy.
just give it to anybody.
It took me 3 times.
And the reason why is because you're not the only person you're going to kill on the motorcycle is yourself or the person behind you.
Yeah.
Is it not like you're going to run up the back of a Camry and be like, "Oh, I really damaged that person"? It's just like they're not even going to feel it. They're like, "Did a bug just hit the windshield?"
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to feel it at all. But pilots do the training that goes in. How many hours you got to have before you can even go solo? 1,000?
Dude, honestly, not even that many. My dad's only had like 7 hours left of his training for like 20 years. He's been talking about it forever.
Oh, okay.
Like, I only have like seven more hours, muchachos, to get my pilot's license, and then I will fly us to the San Juan Islands, and we will have so much fun.
That doesn't expire? Like you can get all the hours when you're 24 and then finish it up when you're 70?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea.
It sounds kind of crazy, right? Probably. So it's not necessarily all that safe if that's the situation. But I don't know if it's true or not. But yeah, it's all dangerous, man. Everything's dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, you're not like fighting
driving
traffic,
a car is
though, really,
dangerous.
in a plane.
Yeah.
Driving a car is very dangerous, yes, but like planes are
Dude,
dangerous.
I used to be so scared of flying in planes until I just started doing it frequently. Every time. I don't even pray, but I would pray every time before we take off. Like, while we were flying, I'd pray to something that I didn't know what it was or who it was, and I would just like hope to God that like a seagull wouldn't get caught in the propeller and just explode the plane.
Yeah, it is.
Watch Final Destination and just start shitting your pants every time you get home.
It is quite wild how little I think about flying when I do it.
Yeah.
I just like grab my iPad, just throw. I mean, it's like taking a bus.
Mm-hmm.
But the physics of flying is so insane.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Like a 747,
it's bonkers.
Getting up into the air and propelling 300 people for 7 hours, like
it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, you're flying an apartment building.
Absolutely insane. Shout out to Boeing. Seattle, Washington, baby.
I think just accepting the fact that, at least it helped me do it because I was kind of scared of flying when I was younger too, and then I just kind of was like, well, I'm going down with the ship. I can't fight it. I'm up here.
Yeah, absolutely. I do the same with roller coasters.
Yeah.
Like there'll be people just terrified of flying, terrified of roller coasters. Like, really? Come on, bro. Like, you're here and nothing you do is going to change how the flight goes.
Right.
Or the roller coaster goes. Like, you're just, you put yourself in this position.
Yeah.
No more. You can be worried like getting to the airplane, like on the way down the tarmac. But like once you sit in the seat and you strap in, bro, you're like, what are you talking about? You're done.
They're in charge.
They're in charge.
It's all over, guys.
Yeah, you've taken your life out of your own hands and you've put it into somebody else's hands.
We do that so many times throughout the course of the day,
so many times. I can tell you, I'm never getting on a plane with Daewon Sawa or whatever that fucker's name is, though.
Devin Sawa, dude.
Yeah, Devin Sawa.
Shout out.
Who's that?
The guy in Final Destination.
Final Destination, dude.
I thought you were talking
90s heartthrob.
And Idle Hands.
Yeah, I thought you were talking
let's
about.
not forget Little Giants.
Let's never forget Little Giants. You're a total icebox, dude.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy. I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know who
Icebox is
this.
a babe nowadays.
I know.
I don't know who this person is.
Been following
You know
on
who
Insta
Devin
for
Sawa
years.
is, dude.
Yeah, he was in Slackers, like the remake of Slackers, not the Richard Linklater one. I don't know, dude. He's like a late '90s heartthrob who was in the. You never saw Final Destination, dude? No wonder you weren't afraid of flying.
I saw the Final Destination where the logs came off the back of the truck.
Oh yeah, that's like 6.
That's terrifying.
Final Destination 32.5.
Yeah, dude.
It's terrifying.
Final Destination, dude. Fast and the Furious is just going by acronyms now. Just F9.
I know.
Isn't
Isn't that hilarious?
I haven't even seen anything since the first one. Is it good? I bet it's great. If they make that many movies, it's got to be fun.
I don't know, man. Because two examples. The most popular TV show in the last 20 years was that like show with the hot girl and then like 3 nerdy roommates.
Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
Big Bang Theory. Did you watch? You ever watch that?
No.
It's so hard to get through.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
really?
not funny at all. It's not funny at all.
Huh.
And it's like the most. It's the most popular. I mean, besides The Simpsons.
It was one of the biggest shows for sure.
Yeah.
When it was on.
Yeah. I had an argument with a guy the other day about The Simpsons continuing to air. He was saying they should have stopped at 10. And I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I haven't seen it since we stopped watching it when we were like 19 years old.
It's not made for us anymore. It's made for those generations still.
Is it?
Totally.
Is it? They're still making new ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Simpsons
30 something seasons.
That's amazing.
And I think I get the Big Bang Theory. It's meant for like, disenfranchised kids that don't want to watch like The Hills. It's for like nerdy kids. It's for people that like feel off and feel out of it, or like good looking people that want to feel like they're not or something, like the hot girl.
So we wouldn't have watched that out because that wouldn't have made sense for us. Kids,
no, yeah, I mean,
because like all the shows are geared towards like good looking popular teens that like get into kerfuffles.
Yeah. I understand it on that platform, but it's a comedy show. It's a show about comedy.
Yeah.
And there's not a funny joke.
Right. No, I get your beef with it.
I don't have much beef with it, honestly. Like, I could take it or leave it. But, like, Kardashians. The Kardashians show. The editing in that show is actually, like, brilliant.
It makes me want to kill myself.
Me too. I have a visceral feeling whenever I watch that show. But I can sit in front of it and be like, I understand who their audience is and how they grip that audience.
Uh-huh.
And what is it? Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't get what person is going to sit in front of this show and be like, can't wait for next season.
Obviously a lot.
Yeah.
I know. That kind of always blows my mind how disconnected I am from the populace.
I actually just finished what is very popular, but I just finished after like a year and a half watching Game of Thrones last night.
Oh, good on you.
Crazy, man.
No, that's a show.
I mean, that's crazy. Can you imagine? There's like $15 million per episode, man.
It's insane.
It's so wild.
It's insane. He was writing it. Cool. He was writing it too. Like, he would write the next season whilst they were airing the season that was happening. He's just like coming up with shit.
Once they pass the books.
Well, I think he had written the books and then they ended on 6, from what I understand. Yeah. And then after 6, the writers of the show that were like adapting the book took it on themselves to write 7 and 8.
Right.
And the 8th season just went so fast. And I was like, oh man, everybody just died all of a sudden. Like, everybody's just out. Like, that wasn't very satisfying. Fuck, dude. Like, that small character in season 3 got killed so cool. This person didn't get killed like this. I wanted Cersei to get killed by some fucking pummel stick, dude. Right. Gaveling. Kill her. Peter Dinklage comes over her head and like pulls a little rock off of her face, and she's like still beautiful underneath all the rocks and rubble. Oh God, I shouldn't be giving this away.
Everyone's seen it.
Spoiler.
Come on.
Has everybody seen it besides me?
You're late to the game.
Literally finished 10 years ago.
Damn. Okay.
It's like, oh, dude, spoiler alert, Full Metal Jacket. Bro, it's been out.
Yeah, I guess. That's
I think it's interesting to me, a show like that, how it's equally as sexual as it is violent, and violence somehow manages always to like be okay in movies. Mm-hmm. Like you can show people getting offed, their heads, logs flying through the windshield and decapitating them. But if you show a wiener, if you show a singular wiener, just even like one ball, one wiener, triple X.
Triple X.
What is that? Yeah. Is that just leftover like religious?
Well, they don't show vagina either. Well, I guess they kind of sometimes do. I don't know.
Kind of hard. It's kind of hard to show vagina.
Yeah, right.
Like you have to, like the angle like has to be real
area like up in there.
You got to be like, yeah, and that's just. I feel like
that's
any
just
situation that you're just going to show that. That's just literally the cameraman has actively tried.
Yeah, to get up in there. Yeah.
Whereas a wiener, you could show like
it's there.
It's just there.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage danglers just flopping around the set.
Dude, I bet Peter Dinklage's got a huge dong, dude.
They call him kickstand.
Guy's hung.
Dude, he's so good.
Fucking fire hose.
He's got a gigantic dick, that Peter Dinklage, dude.
Wait, but so isn't that wild? Where do you think that comes from? Like, what is that?
I don't know.
Why is it okay for us to show violence and not be as Americans, as Westerns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some Western cultures that are fine with it, like Germany. No problem with sexuality at all.
But just wieners and vaginas and all the daytime television shows.
Yeah, just like
soap operas, just swinging their nards
Young and the Restless is just getting a fruit salad.
Talk about the Big Bang Theory.
Yikes! But same with France. You go to France and like in any hotel room, you flip on the TV and it's just there's nudity on.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
Well, then yes, it's the religious suppression that's just stuck around. Then apparently, people are too sensitive to it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't give a shit. It would like if it was a part of the storyline and it was like tasteful and it was what it was. Tasteful or not, actually, I don't even care if it was crude. If it was part of the show and the story, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I wouldn't like sexualize it, but I also think we're more prone to sexualize something because of whatever society has done or what we've been prone to see our whole lives versus violence where, we just are so desensitized to it, on TV or video game.
Right.
Yeah.
Where if you see a wiener, you're like, a wiener!
Exactly.
If I see someone get their head cut off, I'm like, Tuesday.
What's the gnarliest thing you guys have ever seen in person as far as like I've surgeries, like blood, cuts, all that stuff, like sort of makes me nauseous.
Yeah, I mean, I've it's all been like accidents that I've seen.
What's the gnarliest accident you've ever seen?
I don't know. I can't think of one offhand.
It's pretty graphic.
Yeah.
Tell it.
All right, fine.
You don't need to say names.
No, I don't know the name.
It's Kevin.
It was Kevin. It was he broke his leg hyperextended after he was standing for 9.5 hours.
Yeah.
No, I was maybe like 5 years ago. I was out in Manhattan and I was walking to work, and I was on the sidewalk going through a busy street, and there was some girl passing me by on a city bike. They're the rental bikes that you can get out here. She's wearing a sundress. She looked like probably a tourist. Wasn't wearing a helmet. And a cab was pulling in to drop off the person. And so it pulled into the bike lane and like sideswiped her while she was going. And I was I couldn't have been like in a worse position to have like witnessed this thing. She flew up and over the handlebars of the bike, and like the sundress came up and over her whole entire body, so she was just like bare, like no clothes. So obviously, like the road just thrashed her body, and I immediately jumped to the scene to like go and try to help her. Bro, her leg, her arm, and her skull were exposed, like all of the bones in all of the places. God. And I was having my own panic attack, And she just looked up at me after I was just like, oh my God. Because I'm the only, like, there's plenty of people just walking down the street as well who are stopping and like getting on their phone, whatever they're doing. And I'm the first and only person to go and like actually approach this poor woman. And she just looks up at me and starts hysterically laughing, like in shock, just
right.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my God.
Wow.
This is so, like, and her face, it looks like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, dude. Like her skull is coming out of her forehead. Her elbow and like arm are just like coming out of her arm.
Like compound fracture?
I don't know what that really means, or if that's correct for what it was.
Was it a road rash and like all the skin was gone?
No,
or like
no, like the bones were like
broke,
like not in her head. I just saw like it went. That was what happened on her skull. Like her skull was like showing through her skin. This is awful for people to listen to, but yeah, you asked, and so I was so like viscerally affected by this, by what was happening in front of me, and I called the ambulance. They came really quickly and took care of her. And I was going to work, and I went to this bar that I was working at. It's this really busy bar, and I went in, and I was late. It made me late, so I just had to run in and just like start working. And I worked through the whole entire night, 8-hour shift, however long it was. Busy. Couldn't even like deal with anything. And then at the end of the shift, I just fucking broke down and started crying because I just had all this pent up like emotion stuck inside of me from experiencing that, and it was so horrifying and scary to see. And I tried to call all these different hospitals around the area that I was in, and nobody had any information on it. And I just like prayed and hoped that she was good and okay and alive, because it was so gross and so sad and so scary. But just like the laughing was like what did it for me.
That would freak me out, man. That would just like, oh my God, what a weird reaction. I mean, not a weird reaction. Yeah. She's in shock. It would make sense, but I just can't. We have a friend. We all three have a mutual friend who used to work as an ER nurse in Hollywood, and like, I feel like that's to work that sort of job. I would need to be like drafted, like they did, like, in Vietnam is like, they picked your name out of a bucket. You're like, cause I think I actually could probably do that work eventually. You just like start to stomach it, but to sign up and be like, that's what I'm going to go do. I don't understand how that sort of person works. Yeah. Like it's heroes. It's absolute heroes, but it's wild to think in the gamut of the human experience, right? It's like, okay, well, this guy's got 2 arms and 2 legs, and well, he's got a beard, I got a beard, so we're the same thing. Dude, we're not. Like, none of us are the same thing. The fact that somebody has the capability of being an ER nurse in Hollywood, going to work every day and like maintaining sanity, that just blows my mind. I'm thinking on it, like I don't think I had one experience. So I was driving down I-90 towards Seattle, towards Spokane, and I think it might have been me and Tristan actually, and traffic is slowing on our side. I can see it. So, I brake, and then I see like a commotion on the other side of the freeway. There's a huge median, like dividing walls. So you can't get over to the other side of the freeway. And this, like literally 10 seconds before we drove past, this Jeep Wrangler, I remember it was a gray Jeep Wrangler. Dust was still around it. Like it had literally just rolled. And there's a body like 30 feet behind it that is laying limp. And now there's a bunch of cars that have stopped to like assess the situation. But literally 30 seconds prior to us driving past that situation, this car had rolled and thrown the driver, and he was laying right there. And it was there was already a bunch of people stopped. I couldn't get over to the other side of the road. Mm-hmm. But there's also a little bit of that when you don't know how you're going to react in a situation of crisis, and then you leave the situation of crisis wondering if you reacted the right way. Did you feel any of that, Jules? Like after you left her?
That's why I like broke down so hard, because I was just like, did I do the right thing? Was I okay? Because I assumed that I did, because I called the police. I waited till they got there. I tried to take care of her, but my first impulse was to like lift her and move her to the sidewalk.
Right.
Right.
Did you?
No, you're not supposed to do that.
I grabbed her because that was what like instinctually my body told me to do.
Yeah. And
then she was just like, I was like, oh no, I shouldn't touch you. Like she was like a limp body. So of course, man. I was like going through the whole time. I was like making fucking mojitos and fucking lemon drops for the people. I was just like traumatized by that experience. Like people are like, oh my God, this old fashioned tastes too stiff for me. And I'm just like, you don't even fucking know what I'm through. You know? It was really, really intense. But and I mean that there's definitely a lot of people that have to see that stuff working in hospitals and dealing with like you know, the fucking hospital people, like they're the responders that just see this and they're just like, oh yeah, just, you know. Well, I remember Nick being like, I told him about something, or our friend Nick, who's an EMT, and he, you know, I'd tell him these stories. He'd be like, yeah, that's sounds about right. It's just like, whoa, you're just like so desensitized to these things. And it's not that he doesn't care. He cares more as by nature of working the job. Yeah. But it just doesn't like affect him because he sees it so frequently. So it's just like,
do you think you're born with a steel stomach in that capacity? Do you think that some people are pre-programmed to just deal with trauma easier than others?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. Maybe. I think so. Definitely with, I think, like surgeons. I mean, like to be like a cardiovascular surgeon or a brain surgeon, you're just kind of like a robot. You know, a few friends that I have or have had that like gone to medical school, they end up becoming like a general practice doctor, a kid's doctor, or like a podiatrist or anesthesiologist, because they're like, dude, you go to medical school and you're there and you're learning the same stuff, and then there's like the surgeons who are just these like robot human mechanics that don't think like anyone else does. It's like that's what they do. They cut off people's legs, and like that's what they do, which is just bonkers.
Do you have to be a sociopath?
Probably a little bit. I'm sure ego has a lot to do with it. Like you're competing, you have to be the best.
Well, and you have to disconnect from empathy too. Like somehow you have to be able to
or
you have to have a lot like, though.
Yeah, or just like replace it with like substitute your empathy with like a different kind of empathy for yourself. Like the typical style of empathy that we all possess, some more than others, I think still is required of a surgeon. Just like it's just utilized in a different.
You're still saving a life. Your empathy is like for the human life and the family and stuff, right?
Right, but then how do you? I just don't understand how. To me, it blows my mind that somebody can possess the ability to like cut a human open without and still maintain a level head.
Right.
Like to me, if I were to hit somebody, it would inherently give me a reaction that would like hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't comprehend how somebody is capable of developing that. Like
I don't either. I mean, that's what makes them unique and special.
It's wild.
You know, and then even more special. Yeah, even more special are those nurses that not volunteer, but like work their way up to becoming an ER nurse, where you're basically just picking up rags of blood and handing off tools to these people.
So nuts.
And it's, you know, you're in there first and you're out last, you know.
Have you guys ever watched, I think there's a Ken Burns documentary on the Mayo Clinic. The Mayo
Clinic.
Like I believe it's
a hospital.
it's a prestigious hospital, but was started by these, what I believe, I could be butchering this, but it's two brothers, the Mayo Brothers. How I understand it, they were like the foundation of how we practice medicine nowadays in Western culture, with surgery and anesthesia and everything. Not everything, but like they were one of the first surgeon doctors,
like surgical clinic.
Yeah,
like go there to
they would
get that pedigree.
They would do surgeries. This is wild. They would have, I think this was back in London or in England. They would have like a theater where they would have bleachers all around, and then in the middle they would have the surgery table, and they would perform surgeries. No anesthesia, probably just like some liquor or something.
Yeah.
And then they would have all of these doctors who are attempting to try and learn their practice, because they're breaking ground as they're going.
They still do that.
They still do.
Hospitals,
Yeah. They would sit around like on the bleachers, just watching these poor souls like get legs cut off with no anesthesia.
You got to learn.
Oh my God.
They show some of that stuff in the Nick. That show, the Nick.
Yeah, the Nick does that show.
I broke a bunch of bones when I was a kid, and bad enough breaks that like I probably wouldn't be able to use portions of my body. Definitely my arm. Like I broke this arm severely.
If it was 100 years ago.
If it was 200 years ago, this arm's like this.
Yeah.
I'm not using it. I'm not playing guitar. I'm not writing songs. It's wild that we have just inherited like all of this knowledge. I mean, I haven't.
I certainly haven't. You definitely haven't. Julian, nah.
But we get to utilize the benefits of it.
We do.
This microphone, the technology behind this microphone that we just plug in. We're like, hey, does it work? Let's watch a YouTube video. But like the science and the technology that goes behind this microphone, we've just inherited that knowledge, which is insane. It's such a good thing to give thanks for. Give thanks.
How good is this?
Grateful heart.
How good's this? Yeah, so I guess the takeaway from that is if you're thinking about driving a motorcycle, don't.
Seriously.
If you see Devin Sawa, slap him in the face.
Punch him in the dick. Dude, another how good's this moment. Let me plug you guys into this little baby genius. Alan, you got a baby. I was thinking about little Tintin today when I was reading this little article about this kid named Cash Quest. First and foremost, 2-year-old baby genius. Cash Quest. Can identify all 50 states.
Oh my God.
Identify the entire periodic table. Reads full sentences at a 7th grade level. Currently learning Spanish. Has the IQ of 146, where the average American is 98.
Wow.
Where do we sit on that IQ test? Are we pumping a 60?
I think I'm cruising some negatives, dude.
I think I'm cruising single digits.
Yeah, but once you get that sleep apnea machine, though, dude, you're gonna be pumping at least. You're gonna be pumping at least a decade.
I'll be batting
100. Dude, that's insane.
Isn't that crazy? Could you imagine?
I was listening to something when we were in Australia, and they had just inducted a 2-year-old. Is Mensah? Is that the society?
Yeah.
It might have been this kid, Cash Quest,
yeah,
dude.
Probably.
Is he part of the 369
It's a
mafia?
girl. Yeah, definitely.
She got into Mensa?
Part of the Illuminati for sure. Yeah, she's in Mensa for sure.
Okay,
youngest member of Mensa.
That's who they were talking about in this radio, story. I'm not positive, but my thoughts when I was talking to Taz about it, I was like, how do you find that out? Like 2 years is nothing, dude. 2 years. Rudy's 2.5.
Still can't poop in the toilet.
I mean, like, forget about the periodic table. But as a parent, what I'm saying, because like a kid just doesn't go all of a sudden like, la da 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 da. I want to learn the periodic table.
Yeah. So, Daddy, string theory.
What type of parent? Well, what is that?
Well, the mother works in like child behavioral psychology of some kind.
Okay.
So like she's around children, but they don't attest to being like the reason for her brilliance. It's like just this inherited thing that she's picked up. And apparently she just like wakes up in the morning and like points to a map and it's just like Texas. Also cute as fuck.
Yeah.
Like the cutest little girl.
Right, but what is the, like, somebody had to teach her the map. So do you just, if you understand, like, how do you understand that your kid is just advanced, right? Because every parent is like, whoa, that's really advanced.
Yeah.
You know, like I saw Rudy do a thumbs up once, and I was like, did you see the form? He's really advanced.
Saving for college.
Like, what? How do you go from, I think my kid is ready to poop in the toilet, to this is palladium?
Well, I assume it's because you do things, you test your child out. Like, you know, you guys are always giving him little activities to do. And, you know, based on his proficiency with those assignments that he does, it's just like, oh, he's like really getting these like square and a square, circle and a circle stuff like really easily. So let's try something next.
It's amazing.
God, like he can read
better
than me.
Have you guys ever taken an IQ test?
No.
I wonder what it's like.
I don't want to.
I have enough failure in my life.
Yeah. If the average is 98, I'd say we're all pretty average. Maybe less.
Thanks, man.
I'm
terrible at test taking.
Me too.
I'm so bad.
I don't even know what the IQ test entails. Like if it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like close to the SATs or something like that. Because I just don't.
I think if a 2-year-old can score a 148, it's got to be a little bit more vague. And like, I would imagine the IQ test
behavior and stuff
just tests your ability to find patterns. I would imagine. Yeah. For me, when with testing in high school, and like I never went to college, but like in high school, I could get all my assignments in on time. Like I was a great student, but the test would come and it'd be, you know, multiple choice, whatever. And I could figure out a way in my brain that every single one of those answers was correct. It was like our tools for testing intelligence are still relatively pretty cruel.
The standardized testing is
crude.
Crude. Yeah. It's dumb.
I mean, how else do you do it though?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, standardized testing, but I don't know. I think it's pretty dumb because people excel in different things, like you're saying.
Exactly. Right. It's still really crude. I'm sure that there are schools that do it a little bit better. There's like Montessori schools and.
Well, those are different though, like because they're not looking for the standardized testing is for like government funding,
right?
So they like put you in a box and they're like, you are good at this, you get X amount of dollars, blah blah blah. But if you go to like a magnet school or a special school where you specialize in certain things, they're testing you on those certain things.
Do they even test in those schools?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah,
for the school, you know, you want to see how you're doing.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was
I wouldn't even want to take it, man. Like I did not do that well in school. When I applied myself, I was like, okay, but I still wasn't really that good. Like it was just like, I always remember hearing people talk about like, you know, I don't get good grades, but like the parents going to like the parent teacher night and like the teacher being like, yeah, you know, like, your son's actually really smart, just doesn't apply himself.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
My parents would be going and they'd just be like, he just doesn't apply himself. and like, that's all there is to it.
Smart.
That's all that it is.
Can you imagine the teacher parent conference is just like, so.
Yeah, I mean, mine were always like, I think he's good at what he likes to do, but he doesn't like what he doesn't like, and he's not going to do well at it because I just didn't care about algebra.
Geography.
It's like, I don't give a fuck about algebra, but I'm going to crush this other class. Like I liked philosophy, you know, and I paid attention to it. And like, I liked it. I knew what I liked early.
Yeah. It is. It's gotta be such a hard job educating young children.
I couldn't imagine.
Like just to even think about ways that I'm going to attempt to inspire, like, cause kids, whether you like it or not, regardless of the amount of barriers and rules you put in front of a child, they're not going to be anything other than who they end up being.
Yeah.
Like you can influence them. You can create a positive canvas for them to learn in, which inspires things. But like at some point, the child is going to be independently responsible for what they learn and what they do.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, we're still 13 years old. I think.
Yeah.
I'm for sure.
You know,
I might be pushing 11, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You're in it, Alan. You got it. You got those requirements coming on at you, dude. Like Rudy's gonna be 14
before I know
tomorrow.
It. Yeah. It's interesting, man.
He's gonna be playing like varsity tennis, and you're gonna be like, shit, dude, my son is better than me at everything he does.
Yeah, it's hard.
Is incredible.
It's hard. It's especially as I think about educators, like, I mean, I've got one child, and the amount of pressure you feel as a father to look into the future and be able to provide monetarily, but also look into the future and go, I'm not ever going to have this time again. So I need to invest in these moments with my son. And then also the daily struggle with, am I doing the right thing? Am I setting my child up for the best future? Right? Am I putting the right tools in front of him, or am I putting too many tools in front of him? Like you're flying blind constantly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm getting a motorcycle, dude. And I'm just going to pop wheelies and spin donies just constant. I'm going out with your dad, bro. We're going to
let's get horses instead, dude. Stallions.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Majestic steeds.
Yeah, majestic steeds.
Let's go, dude.
Hell yeah. We all got to get different colors, dude. Sure.
I could just see the horse side-eyeing me. Like just hoping for one of you guys. It's like, son of a bitch.
It's like, please no.
Nah, dude, you just gotta get a big daddy Yankee like you, man. You gotta get a big boy.
One of those Budweiser horses that are like 9 feet tall. No problem.
What are those called?
You'd look like Peter Dinklage on one.
Gargoyles.
Oh, my dream, dude. My dream's to look like Petey Dinks, dude.
Petey Dinks, dude. We gotta know that guy, man. I'm trying to meet him soon.
Dude, me too. American Dinklage, dude.
God,
yeah,
damn,
dude.
American
Big Dinks.
Yeah.
He's
Clydesdale.
Phenomenal.
Clydesdale.
Yeah, that's right. What is the horseshoe on a Clydesdale? Is it the size of a water wing, like a adult water wing?
It's what you chuck at the stick.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Those are Clydesdale horseshoes?
I don't know. I mean, they're
Goblet
horseshoes.
of fire.
Those horses are big.
Huge.
Dude.
It's like an ox.
Yeah.
What would you ride?
Me? Like I kind of like to be the odd one out trendsetter. I'd probably get a llama.
Cool.
Just ride that into the party.
That's tight.
Get a fucking ostrich.
Oh, good luck.
I just want everybody to look at me, dude. I'm just gonna get a Burmese mountain dog.
That'll work.
Have him pull me.
I'm gonna get a Yorkshire Terrier.
Oh, poor little Poochie.
You guys are gonna be rolling. You guys are gonna be rolling on majestic horses. I'm gonna pop up in a lime. I rode one of those the other day. Have you guys hopped on a lime scooter?
No, because I'm afraid of getting hit by a taxi and rolling over and marking my face.
I don't get how that's like anybody with a phone can rent a lime scooter. I see people. I'm like, bro, the handlebars are at your forehead.
Yeah,
it's just like 8-year-old kids who's mom gave them a throwaway iPhone.
Yeah,
renting. I mean, there must be a bunch of accidents on those things. They go pretty quick.
They do
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. They have the same thing for mopeds out here. You just need to have like a valid driver's license. But me and Steph, you just scan it.
Yeah, scan
through the app.
I mean, through the app. Yeah, you just scan your driver's license, prove that it's valid, and then you're off, dude. And me and Steph got in an accident on it, like pretty gnarly. I broke my toe. It could have been much worse, man. We stopped traffic in the middle of Grand Army Plaza. It was gnarly. Steph fell going like 25 miles per hour, and I fell right behind her because I was reacting to her falling. Super gnarly road rash. I was out for like a month. It was crazy.
Sketch, dude.
And people were like, I remember like my leg. I thought my leg was broken because it was a pretty hard spill. And Steph was able to get up pretty quick. But I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, my leg felt numb all of a sudden. So I was like, I don't know, my leg's broken. People on like the street were just like, don't stand up. And I was just like, I got to. People like honking at us, commotion everywhere. Just like, dude, I gotta get out of here, man. This is crazy.
Everybody
just read those things, man.
Everybody on the sidewalk just starts chanting, Rudy, Rudy,
Yeah.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Like, I got it.
Is that Cheddar Bob that we just saw bail on his scooter? Cheddar Bob, dude. I told some friends the other day.
Is that Steve Sasso?
I just told some friends the other day that I look like Cheddar Bob, and they were like, who's Cheddar Bob? And I told them, they were like, oh my God, dude, you look identical. And it's true, man. The older I get, the more I do look like Chetty Bob's, dude.
Well, you
I
have
don't know his real name.
No, you have a bunch in there though, because Nick Lachey. I watched a show with Nick Lachey the other day, and you he's too what's the word? Symmetrical. I don't know, dude. You look like Cheddar Lachey. You look like thick. You look like thick Lachey. But you are slimming down, so you can't be thick Lachey anymore. But like Cheddar Bob's just funny, but thick Lachey is also. And what's the other one? Fat Damon.
No,
yeah, Fat Damon.
When you thick out, when you thicken 19, out,
you
look
had
like
19.
Damon.
19 names to call me during the karaoke special. It was on your set list. Like, remember to call Julian Fat Damon. Remember to call Julian Cheddar Lachey. Remember to call Julian Thick Lachey. Remember to call Julian. So many names. That was the best.
CrossFit Farley.
CrossFit Chris Farley. Yeah. CrossFit Farley.
Though, that one never landed. Nobody caught it. Nobody thought it was funny.
Really?
Mm-mm.
It doesn't have a good ring to it.
Edith Murray, dude, what a beautiful babe. I hope that we can get her on the potty because that'd be sick to interview her. I doubt she could figure out the internet connection though. Like, do you think she's more?
If she's powerlifting squats, bro, she's definitely got Ethernet cable.
When did she? Did it give any history on like when she started?
Yeah, was she in the Olympics?
Powerlifting?
40s?
9 years ago. She started 91.
9 years ago?
What?
Yeah, she started. Yeah, sorry. I forgot to mention that part. Yeah, she like only started in her 90s.
Oh my god.
And she's just been like about it. She wasn't a lifter at all.
Oh my goodness. Like I made it to 90.
She was just like, she's just like, I just want to like be healthy and try to like, try to challenge myself to fucking stick it out. She's trying to beat her record this year.
Good on her.
She's already training.
That's amazing.
It was showing her like do bench presses and stuff, and I was like, and it's like there's like weight on the end of the barbell. It's like, and it's not like a 5-pounder either. It's like proper like 25-pound weights on both sides.
Is she yoked up? Is she like
No. I mean, yeah, but like not. She doesn't look like that.
She just looks
super skinny. No, she just looks like a 75-year-old woman.
Good on her.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then little Cash Quest is like actually 66, but 2.
Right. We've been Benjamin buttoned.
Yeah, that's always interesting to me, like people who are fully capable at that type of intelligence, and then there's a whole nother world of intelligence that they can't get a grasp on. Because there's a social intelligence.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
I know a lot of people. Not a lot of people. I don't even know a lot of people.
Right.
But like, I've met people before who are incredibly intelligent in the metrics that matter for IQ, for getting in the Mensa.
Yeah, engineering minds.
Couldn't exist in a social scenario at all. That blows my mind.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of strange.
What's the thing? I mean, she might be on the spectrum too. You don't know. She might have Asperger's.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah,
but it's possible.
Yeah, it's interesting just to like, that must be what it is then, rather than just like, can a person just be 2 and a genius?
Oh, right. It has to be some sort of spectrum thing.
Well, I'm not saying it has to. That was
I know.
Anyone who's offended by that.
I'm not even calling you out on that. I'm just saying, like, it seems, because that's what I would say too. It's just like, this is somebody with autism. Like, they're on the spectrum. They like
Asperger's.
They can't be that smart. Asperger's. They can't be that smart without having some kind of spectrum situation.
Yeah, like a few people I know that have Asperger's are older, and they are incredibly smart at a few things. But yeah, socially, like, you know, one of them is basically my uncle, because I've known him forever, because my dad played with his sister in a band since 1991. I've known her and him forever. And he has Asperger's. Knows everything you could ever want to know about music. Everything. Dates, producers, all of it. And ask him a question, he knows everything about it. But if you, like, go to dinner with him, he, like, can't order.
Oh, wow.
You know, like, we'd go see Paul McCartney with him and stuff, and he's so happy and alive, and he loves the music, but he's, like, anxious to be around people, or, like, get his ticket, you know, give his ticket in, those kinds of things. He's a really special guy, but it just blows your mind when you're just like, that comes up so fast. Like, his random access memory for certain things is a computer. But socially, like you were saying, it's a little different. It's difficult for him.
I would love to talk to like a neuroscientist or somebody who has read more than 2 sentences about this sort of topic, like your boy right here.
Learned it from Grey's Anatomy. Shout out to Shonda.
Learned our love for it from that show, Love on the Spectrum, dude. Remember we watched that? Just cried our eyes out.
Goodness.
Best TV ever.
I actually reached out to
literally every Emmy
from that.
You did?
Yeah, the therapist. I did. Yeah, I mean, of course, you never got back to me. I'm not coming on you guys' idiotic podcast.
Yeah, she's so
I was
Hollywood
like,
now.
come on.
She's definitely hanging out with one of the Kardashians.
Hey, they're in full lockdown though in Aussie, dude. Now's the chance.
Oh yeah,
I think they're gonna be in lockdown until in 2022, man.
Wow,
it's over.
Dude, that's
over there.
It's over there.
It's over, dude. We got out just in time. Literally, though, they were out of lockdown for 8 days in Melbourne. 6 of those days, I played those shows. 2 days after we left, lockdown. They've been in lockdown ever since.
You would have been stuck had you not left when you did.
I don't think we would have been stuck. Like, they'll let any Yahoo leave.
You'll leave the country, yeah.
But
you can't go back.
You ain't getting back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why we extended the trip was so I could play shows.
Yeah.
Right.
We stayed like an extra 2 months. Now, granted, you didn't really have to pull our arm too much.
Yeah.
It's like Jenny Lawson is a angel, and Murray Lawson knows how to drink.
Yeah, extra 2 months in wine country,
yeah,
Australia.
Exactly.
Like,
just like extra 2 months of in-home childcare.
Yeah, Rudy just hot rodding around the acreage.
Yeah, no problem, bro. But yeah, it was like such a small window that I actually got to work.
Yeah,
it was wild.
That's wild, man.
Dude, this has been fun. I love this. I love that you're bringing How Good's This little tidbits, fun facts that show us that we actually live in a wonderful world full of incredible things and incredible people. And this has been a fun episode, man. Hell yeah!
For sure. Hell yeah, dude. Let's ride stallions into the sunset now.
Should we all say How Good's This on 3?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. How good is this?
Sleep apnea.
Idiots. Gracious.
Oh, boo-boo, did you just make it to the end of the video? Yes, you did. Do you want to see more videos just like this one? Do you?
Well, then head over to patreon.com/Live at the Lodge, where you can support the How Good's This podcast, as well as the entire Live at the Lodge family.
Yep. Yeah, you're going to get exclusive merch, personalized shout-out videos. Me and Jules, we're going to show up at your house and baptize your nephew, huh? Check it out, patreon.com/Live at the Lodge.